Hi everyone. I'm in Essex of all places today. I'm in Bradwell on Sea, and today I'm going to take you to a really magical place called St Peter's Chapel, and it's absolutely beautiful. There's a lot of history behind it, and this is going to be one of my first of quite. There's going to be probably a few Essex historical location I'm going to take you to, but this is definitely the first one that we're going to do. So and it's an old, I've been here before and it's absolutely magical. Unfortunately, if you look outside, hence why I'm in the car, it's raining, absolutely tipping it down. So I've got my essentials, I've got my backpack with drink and everything else, because it's quite a little walk down to the chapel itself, just a little one. Everything else that I need as well is located in my bag on top of normal things as well. So like a hat, which I may be using later because it is absolutely soaking out there. Mind you though, it's we've just started September now, so kind of end of August, so I was kind of expecting it to be a little bit drizzly, but because we're by the coast, it is absolutely pouring it down. So come with me and I'll take you for a look around in the pouring rain. See you later. So I've got out of the car. Weather's not too bad actually. It's more drizzle than it is. In fact, it looks pretty worse outside. The good thing is it's not actually wind. There's no wind, so you'll probably hear this a lot better. Over there is the river. You can't see it actually. Right, you see there's a line that goes across. So that's the River Blackwater. And this is where we're going to, this place. So you can see it's a little bit of a walk. That building right there. And I'm going to tell you a lot about it because it's really interesting. There's a lot of really amazing cool things that I'm going to show you today. Over there, some wind turbines. There's actually quite a lot on this Essex part of this Essex coast. So yeah. This is the first one outside. I'm not too wet just yet, no need for the hat, but we'll see how it goes. And I've got to admit, actually, before we do anything else, if you're here, if you ever do end up on Bradwell on Sea, it's one of those rare places where you do feel like you're like on, I don't know, like you're kind of, you feel like you're on the edge of the world in a weird way. Even the drive up here. It kind of feels like a really big mission, and you go through some amazing countryside, but it sort of seems like it never ends, which isn't a bad thing sometimes. It's got that kind of Kent feel to it, but I mean it's a beautiful drive, but it does feel like it goes on for a while. And then when you look over it, like this landscape for example, you just, like I said, you just sort of, because basically over that ridge is the coast. But you kind of do feel like you're sort of, you know, in the middle of nowhere. But anyway, I'm gonna take you inside it. It took me about like 10 minutes to walk. I was walking quite slowly. I've got huge blisters on my feet. And the beautiful thing about it is here we are, and you can actually go right through. So I'm going to take you through. Now, I'm really lucky because actually nobody's here today. Obviously because it's raining, probably. But this place is apparently really, really haunted. have to admit personally, this is one of the most spiritual places I've ever been to. There's a few that I've been to, obviously, but this place is just really magical. I know they do a lot of ghost haunts in there and stuff, to do vigils. There is a lot of history in this place. In fact, part of the wall was actually used by the Roman fort, which I need to actually explain to you. So, as I'm walking through, I'm going to probably get my history like back to front here, but this was actually a Celtic monastery built by Saint Ced, who was actually a monk for Anglo-Saxon England, and it was kind of in between conversion between. It was basically just sort of for all the non-Christian Saxons, basically, where they could go. And what had happened was that, in fact, it had actually been partially used as a Roman fort. And the Roman fort stretched right the way over there. It's almost like a ridge. And it was the Roman fort of Atina, or Atona. Excuse my pronunciation for it. I don't know if you can see here, because I'm going to, unfortunately, it's a bit of a cloudy day today. Over there is where the Vikings came from. And basically this place was raided to buggery, basically. This was a classic example of a place that the Vikings would raid for money, loot, pillage, etc, etc, take as much as they could. Hence why there's a lot of hauntings and stuff. People reckon there's ghosts of, I heard there was a ghost of a Viking that was around here, there was ghosts of like priests, etc, etc, monks, monsters, you name it. There's everything's been in here. There's, like I said, there's been vigils actually inside there itself. Unfortunately, when I came here last time, it was about the same time here last year. I was trying to think actually. It's just one of these magical places that if you do get the chance to go to, I thoroughly recommend that you go to it. Not only for like its beautiful location and the drive technically, even though I said it was a bit boring, it's still a good drive, but actually for the fact that you can actually openly go inside this place. So I'm going to take you on one last time. I'm just going to show you around again. So after this, I'm hoping there's not any ghosts here today, because the way I've been feeling, anything could happen. But obviously it wasn't actually originally this size. In fact, it was pre-extended out a little bit. In fact, there was a circular bit that used to come around, typical of the Celtic monastery. And that looks, oh look at that. I think that is St Ced, there, the main man who built this place. So it was absolutely fascinating, this. I mean, like I said to you, sorry, I'm just looking down. But, I mean, there's not really much more to say. I mean, like I said, it was built in the 7th century, which is pretty much at the time when the Saxons just started to become what we probably know as Saxons, really, because before that they were sort of like from Jutland, and they'd all sort of like converged over, and in fact the Saxons actually lived for quite a long time, probably longer, a lot longer than